Hey guys, this is James Wilson with MTB Strength Training Systems and BikeJames.com, and today I want to go over 4 bodyweight exercises that you may not be using, but you definitely should be including in your training program. Bodyweight exercises are great for a few reasons. First, they're easily accessible. Obviously, you don't need any equipment for them, so you can do them anytime, anywhere. And second, they're a great way to develop body awareness and body control. Your body looks at controlling its own body weight differently than it does controlling an external object. So there's definitely a need for and a place for strength training and kettlebell lifting and some of the other stuff that I've talked about before, but there's also a place for and a need for bodyweight training. So that's what's going to help really develop the body awareness and stuff that really helps us on the trail. So first up is a single leg squat. Most of us are familiar with a regular 2-legged squat, but a single leg squat takes that to another level, really helps develop the core strength and the single leg strength that you need to pedal effectively. You want to be able to maintain a good strong core while driving hard with the lead leg to get a good strong pedal stroke, and this is one of the best ways to develop that. So there's a couple different ways you can do a single leg squat. If you haven't done one before, I recommend having a chair or a bench set up behind you, so in case you fall backwards, you don't hurt yourself. Definitely no excuse to get hurt in training. But assuming you've got that down, you can either do a single leg squat where you squat down to where your thigh is parallel with the ground and then come back up, or you can do what's known as a pistol squat where you come all the way down, ass to the grass, and then drive back up. So one of the things you want to keep in mind when doing your single leg squats is keep your weight back on your heel. At no point do you want to start coming up on your toe like this. That just places a ton of stress on your knee. It is not a good way to come down. It's not going to be healthy for your knees, and it's teaching you bad movement habits. You want to learn how to drive from the hips, not from the knees and ankles. So keep your weight back on your heel. Imagine there's a curb right behind your heel, and you want to sit on that curb, and then when you come up, think about stomping your foot into the ground to initiate the drive back up. Stomp through your heel, drive through that heel to come back up. Driving through your heel, make sure that you're using your hip. As soon as your weight shifts to your toe and you start pushing through your toe, you're just starting to use your quad, and that places too much stress on your knee. It's not the best way to do it. So that's your single leg squat. The next exercise I want to show you is a bridge. And this is one of those exercises that when I show people in my facility, this is what I want you to do, they look at me like I'm crazy, like I'll never be able to do that. They don't understand the exercise until they practice it a little bit and they finally get it, and then they really start to enjoy the benefits of this exercise. So this is a bridge. Lying on your back, you got your feet set shoulder width apart, pretty wide. You do not want them narrow. Got them set out wide. Get your hands set on the ground so that your fingers are pointed towards your feet. Then you're going to drive your heels and your palms into the ground. Push yourself up and lower yourself back down. Push yourself up, lower yourself back down. If you can't quite get up all the way, you can do a head bridge where you just come up to place your head on the ground. You don't want to put weight on your head. You still want to be holding yourself up with your hands. But the bridge is a great exercise for a couple of reasons. Primarily, it's a great way to combat this posture. You know, we find ourselves in this posture in our daily lives, then we ride our bikes in this posture. So the bridge really helps open us up, helps restore some balance in the body, and it's also a great way to activate the posterior chain, which is the fancy way of saying all the muscles on the back side of the body, the ones you can't see in the mirror. Those muscles are the key to developing a good, strong, powerful riding style. Learn how to tap into those guys and not just using the muscles that you can see in the mirror, which aren't nearly as strong and powerful. So the next exercise I want to show you is a flat leg raise. And the flat leg raise is one of those exercises, you may have seen it or maybe even done it before at some point in the past, but it kind of gets brushed aside. But it's actually a really great exercise for teaching us how to stabilize at the core and flexing at the hip. We've already worked on, with the single leg squat, our lead leg. When we're pedaling, we want a powerful stroke, downstroke with the lead leg, and we want a passive return with the trail leg, pulling it up, getting ready for its turn to give a powerful downstroke. But if we don't know how to flex effectively at the hip while keeping the core stable, then instead of doing this, you're going to end up doing something that looks like this. And so anytime you lose that core integrity, you lose your core tension, you're losing your platform. So if you're having to flex at the lower back and lose that core tension, then your lead leg is not able to drive as powerfully. You're losing some power. So this is how this exercise works. You're going to lie on your back, palms on the ground. I actually recommend driving your palms into the ground. You'll feel when you do that, it'll activate your lats, which are part of your core. And you're going to raise your legs up. Do not let your tailbone come off the ground. Keeping your head, upper back, and tailbone press into the ground. You're going to slowly lower your legs down. Light touch of your heels on the ground. Then back up. Keep driving those palms into the ground. You'll find it gets your core a little stronger. And then back up. So if you have trouble with that, you can start with a flat knee raise, where you're just pulling the knees in and extending the legs. And then you can take that to a frog raise, where you pull in with the knees, extend the legs, and then drop, pull in, extend, and drop. But eventually you want to get to that full flat leg raise. So try doing 20 of those. You'll definitely feel your core burning by the end of that. And then finally, the last exercise that I want to show you is a handstand press. A handstand press is one of those exercises that you don't hear a lot about because they're not easy to do, but they're a great exercise. So let me show you how these work. You're going to need you a wall, because if you can do a freestanding one, you probably belong in gymnastics. But get in front of a wall, get set, hands about shoulder width apart. You're going to kick up into a handstand. Lower yourself down, light touch of your head, drive yourself back up. Lower yourself down, drive yourself back up. Come on out. So a lot of you are going to find that to be next to impossible to do. So you may need to work into that. Great progression to get into that is starting with a headstand. So just kicking up, bouncing, you got your hands set on the ground, balancing on your head, but you need to be driving your palms into the ground so you're not just putting the pressure on your neck. Once you can hold that position for 60 seconds, work on a handstand, kicking up into a handstand position. When you can hold that for 60 seconds, then you can work on an eccentric handstand press, where you kick up into a handstand, then you lower yourself down into a headstand, come out of it, kick back up into a handstand, lower yourself down. When you're able to do 5 or 6 good eccentric handstand presses, then you'll probably be able to give me 1 or 2 good handstand presses. The handstand press is a great exercise. One, it just looks cool. You want to freak some people out at the gym, start busting out some handstand presses. You'll definitely get some looks. But you know, someone's got to scare the normals, may as well be us. But the reason the handstand press is so great for us on the bike, it's a great core strengthening exercise. You will feel your core working like crazy to hold yourself in that position. And it's also just a great upper body strengthening exercise. When you can do 5 handstand presses, then your shoulders are solid. They're going to be able to take a pounding and come back the next day, no problem. So just a great overall exercise for us. So anyway, so those are 4 exercises. Just giving you guys some tips and strategies on how to get more out of them. Included with this post, I've got a little routine how you can put these exercises to use. But I just wanted to share these tips with you and also kind of tie in how they apply to the trail, because if you don't understand how these things apply to what you're doing on the bike, then you're not going to get the most out of them. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this tip. Once again, it's been James Wilson with MTB Strength Training Systems. You can check me out on the web at bikejames.com, and I'll talk to you guys next time.